Yo, it's me again, making another video on Hashashin, this time going over his awakening. This is what it looks like. It's, as they said, pretty close range, but when combined with the main weapon it's absolutely disgusting. I'll start with the movement again. In terms of movement, he got a big buff with this ability right here, WF, and it's passive. So what the passive does is when you use it for a couple of seconds, you get to use it again with super armor and the same range. So this is what it can look like if I combine it with the dash, right? That whole thing was fully protected. The dash is where iframe and the charge is forward. The WF, this one, those were super armor. It has a big cooldown, right? But as I said, you can use it twice in a row. And when combined with pre-awakened movement, it's pretty good, right? That is... It can chase now as well. I think it's faster than the Musa, which is a huge buff for the class, because chasing power was something I mentioned previously. It was... What was the main thing it was missing? It could dance around everyone pretty damn fast, right? But when it came to actually chasing someone, the class was absolutely useless. Now it can even chase, so in terms of movement it's not missing anything. Now in terms of other protection, it has quite a bit of it. It has protection on this skill and its flow, which look like this. It does huge damage, this skill, like it shreds everyone. The range isn't too good, and from the beginning of the animation, this part, it does no damage until the snakes come out. So not really good for combos, but in node wars and stuff, or for grinding, it will be very disgusting. The flow right here, you can also use it from different spells. The ones I've figured out so far was obviously this one and this one. For this skill I'll use it without the flow. You can hold it like this. This is all super armor. You can only hold it for a couple of seconds, but that's fine. I don't know how to use this flow, right? I just haven't figured it out. But you can use this flow after it, which you just saw me do. The input for that would be just snapping LMB RMB as you're spinning it, right? But this is how it looks without the flow. So these are all super armor. Another protected skill would be RQ. This is the forward guard. There's sadly no protected CC, but it doesn't really need it, right? This is also, you can see the CCs, but that is only in PvE. What it also has are some pretty good self buffs and enemy debuffs, such as all AP plus 20, right? That's huge. The dash does a plus 6% evasion rate, and you'll have that constantly, right? Because you can just dash around a lot. As you can see, the buff isn't really going anywhere. Also interesting thing, the dash always brings you to awakening, so keep that in mind. You can go into pre-awakening pretty fast if you just do LMB after any movement ability, but that is unprotected and it stiffens. Okay, now a lot of people are wondering if the class is gonna have grab, and it does. And it's one of the strongest grabs in the game. It's not protected, but the range you can use it from is like disgusting. Like 90% of grabs wouldn't land if you did it like that. This one does. The awakening buff is really strong. As you can see here, critical hit rate plus 30%, all accuracy rate plus 15%, and attack speed plus 20%. Really good for grinding, really good for damage, and will find its use even in T1s. Now, you also inherit the ability to transport to your tornadoes. which is super armor, but there are gaps, so you can just do this and hope to get lucky that no one gets you in those gaps, but I wouldn't rely on it too much. But if you combine it with something like this, I mean, the class has a lot of protection. If you know what you're doing, you will not get CC'd with anything other than on grab. You have to be careful though, because it has one iframe and the rest are super armors. You'll have to keep in mind that you can't just sit under the enemy's noses like a Sork can, because you will die pretty fast. Also, as I mentioned in the previous video, it has some sick evasion buffs and accuracy buffs. I think it has more evasion buffs than a ninja, if you don't count smoke screen. You can't really count smoke screen because you can't keep the smoke screen buff up 24/7. Meanwhile, on this class, this stays on permanently. In terms of CCs, Hashashin has a couple of good CCs, such as this one, knockdown. That does the -9 evasion rate as well. It also has this float, and it has this little helicopter attack. It also has this. Okay, the mob just moving on me, nice. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it has a lot of nice CCs you can use mid combos. A lot of nice flows. The class, although like we don't know much about it, we don't know many combos, it already looks to be pretty strong. Once people figure out how to play it completely, I think this is going to be one of the strongest dueling classes, and a pretty decent no-duel class. I'll try to do another video on Awakening once it comes out to EU and NA, like a proper guide. This is just a little showcase. But if you liked it, subscribe. If you want to see the Succession video, subscribe. That's probably gonna come out in the next couple of days. And yeah, enjoy.